All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing somewhat of a Dead updates type video, new developments for The Walking Dead, leading up to the second part for The Walking Dead Season 11. Great, so we finally have some new items to go ahead and take a look at, some things to discuss leading up to the start for the second part of The Walking Dead Season 11, with just 2 parts left of the series, and The Walking Dead going to be ending. So Happy New Year to all of you guys. Hope you had a great Christmas. Definitely wanted to go ahead and do a Walking Dead video for you guys since it's been a little bit, and love to do kind of them over the holidays with you guys. Usually do like some type of holiday special or something each year for Walking Dead, but this year didn't really have much because we kind of had already done, I think, most of what I wanted to cover in the streams and such. But definitely got some new stuff now for Walking Dead, which is really great. So we got sort of our first picture for the second part of The Walking Dead Season 11, and it is of Maggie. So we can see Maggie in this picture. She's got some blood sort of going there. This is from TV Line exclusive. Not sure who she's looking at. She looks kind of angry, but then again, she kind of always sort of looks angry. She looks disappointed in this one. Maybe she's looking at Negan, somebody else, but something tells me she's looking at Negan and she's not too happy with whatever's going on. Similar to what we got to see in the first part for The Walking Dead Season 11. Most likely that's what's going on here. Next, discussion about Norman Reedus possibly playing Ghost Rider in Marvel. So this sounds like something that Norman Reedus has kind of wanted to do for years. There was a quote, it said, "The Ghost Rider conversation has been coming up for years, and yeah, tell them to put me in it." Reedus said in an interview with comicbook.com's Brandon Davis ahead of the Walking Dead Saturday Comic-Con panel. "I want to play Ghost Rider." So it sounds like Norman Reedus really wants to play Ghost Rider. It's something that he would really enjoy doing. He hasn't had a Marvel character yet. So that would be in kind of the the recent MCU huge movie, we say franchise universe that they've created, right? So I think that would be really great for him. You also have Kit, I believe, who's playing the Black Knight, right? So that's a crossover from Game of Thrones into MCU. That definitely makes perfect sense, and I think that this one is best associated the same kind of way, because Walking Dead and Game of Thrones started at the same time. They both started in 2010. They both became 2 of the biggest series in the history of television, HBO and AMC. And so I think it would be awesome to see Norman Reedus play Ghost Rider. I think Angela Kang had posted something too, that she supports Norman Reedus as Ghost Rider. He'd be a great Ghost Rider. I think he'd be the best Ghost Rider you could possibly pick. I think of anybody I can think of who could be a good Ghost Rider, Norman Reedus, Daryl would be your best choice, I think. I can't think of anybody else who would be a better pick for Ghost Rider than him, and it just depends if they want to do something with him in the Marvel movies, and if they want to kind of give Ghost Rider kind of a big appearance. I think that'd be wicked cool if they went ahead and did that. And yeah, he's definitely the perfect cast for that, I think. Also with The Walking Dead kind of getting closer to sort of its end here in the next couple years. We don't know for the Daryl Carroll spinoff, how many episodes that will be or how much will be done with that. But he has some other series and other things. Boondock Saints 3 is coming out later. They're going to do that, and so that should be a good one. And then I think he's got a Western that he's going to do for AMC, I think, or it's based on a comic book. I'm not sure if AMC got the rights for it. I think they did, so that would be a good one for them to have with him in it as well. It makes sense. And then there's always the possibility that maybe we could see him in the Walking Dead movies at some point if they decide to do that. It kind of feels like maybe what they're doing with the Walking Dead is they're sort of transitioning it from, it was TV series wrapping up. You have the other series going, and then transitioning that to kind of like a movie series after. If they get this first movie done, and if they decide to do 3, then it would make sense for the foreseeable future. Every few years we get, a movie, and maybe they do 3 in total, and you get to see some of the, the OG members from The Walking Dead. Maybe you get to see Michonne with Rick, and you get to see some of the others reuniting, this whole kind of thing. That would be a good way to do it. That way you wouldn't have to sign them on for every season, which may or may not make sense because there's a lot of episodes to do. It's a big order with 16 episodes every year for them to always come out and show up every single year. So maybe the transition from that into the movies for a Walking Dead kind of war between CRM and Commonwealth is sort of kind of the long-term plan here that we might be seeing if the movie series continues and if they actually do that trilogy that was initially mentioned. It just feels odd because we haven't seen the first one yet, but maybe this was kind of always the plan. They just never told us that, yeah, the first movie would air, but it wouldn't actually air until after the series had ended, but possibly that wasn't known at that time, depending on the popularity of how many people kept watching the original TV series, right? So, but anyway, him as Ghost Rider would be awesome. I would love to see it. Leave your comments below. What do you guys think about that? Or can you think of somebody who you think would be even better for Ghost Rider? I can't think of anybody better than Norman Reedus. So would be really awesome. So I do have some comments from you guys. Last Walking Dead video we did mostly was the Walking Dead CRM versus Commonwealth War video. That most likely that's what we're thinking will probably happen in the Walking Dead universe with the movies and such, or if they do other spin-offs, and that it feels like that's what they're kind of shaping up to do. AK-47 Dom said the TV series Commonwealth has a population of 50,000, and so most people had let me know that, and thank you guys for that, because I had sort of forgotten with everything else that's been kind of going on, doing lots of different type of videos for different things and that such in the last year or two. So that's quite a bit. The CRM, I think, has about 200,000. So now they did lose some because a couple of their communities were destroyed. But I'm not sure how many people were there in the second season. But I think most people had said that they think the CRM is about 200,000. Commonwealth's about 50,000. But certainly not all of them are soldiers on both sides. So on either side. So it's anybody could win. And, if you're like, in terms of Commonwealth, if they join with Daryl and the others and they become the good guy faction, which it is likely, I would think, then, it's always good to have your protagonist face a threat that's even more powerful than them. So you have the Commonwealth, 50,000, facing off against the CRM, which has at least 100 to 200,000, and they would have to find a way to defeat them, even though they're outnumbered such an extent. So it'd be so cool to see. Maybe it's something that has to be done in the movies just because of the scale and because action is really difficult to do in a TV series release schedule, and you can't really do it for 16 episodes. So maybe that's why they opted for the movies. Jason Klack says CRM is the real deal. They got fuel, helicopters, Humvees, plenty of weapons. I'm sorry, but the Commonwealth is still riding horses. Come on, no chance. Well, like I said, you want your good guys to have to raise their level, to have to rise above a superior in terms of strength bad guy. You want them to ascend and defeat the bad guys. So yeah, right now the CRM do look much stronger than the Commonwealth, and that's kind of the best kind of story. Similar with the Saviors, they had 100 plus or whatever, and Rick and the others have to find ways to kind of defeat them and how to beat them back and how to eventually defeat them. And they do, even though it looks like they don't have much of a chance against Negan, especially at first, right? Once he does the lineup and stuff after that, it seems like they don't have any hope, but they find it and they're able to overcome the Saviors later on. Strand says Kirkman should make a comic book based on the CRM Western Alliance / Commonwealth story arc. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't been following his letter hacks that he writes in the Walking Dead Deluxe. If there's any updates from him, if he has any interest in doing anything in terms of the comics for Walking Dead anymore. I'm just not sure if there's any interest from him there for Walking Dead, if he wants to do it, because he wrote the original Walking Dead series for so many years, and Charlie Adler as well, I think, was kind of pretty much finished or needed an endpoint, it sounds like, because just how much work that is day in, day out. So it's I think it'd be great if they could do something Walking Dead related, but I'm more than happy with the TV series version the way they've kind of gone. They made it even bigger than the comics. It's sort of like Game of Thrones. If you go to A Song of Ice and Fire, I feel like the Game of Thrones series is way bigger than A Song of Ice and Fire. And the Walking Dead TV series universe, or movie universe, AMC universe, is even bigger than the comics were originally too. So that just makes sense. Same with the MCU stuff, which is so huge, Disney and everything. The movies are so huge with it that it's even bigger than the comics in terms of sales. Like Marvel Comics, actually, before it was bought out and everything, there was a point, I remember there was an article that said that the movies, the X-Men movies, I believe, X-Men, there was Spider-Man as well, but the X-Men movies saved Marvel. They were actually not selling enough comics, and they weren't doing well. And the movies coming in were actually what got everything going again. You got to remember, when you have a TV series or a movie out there too, it builds hype, and then people go buy the comics more than they would if you didn't have anything. If you didn't have like the MCU stuff and all that, people, probably wouldn't be buying as many comics as they do, considering how pumped into the forefront Marvel and everything is. People watch, Infinity, or they go see kind of Infinity War or something, and maybe they go buy the comics right after, and they want to buy all the Thanos comics and everything else, right? Or Civil War, and then they go buy the Civil War comic that went along with it. That's just kind of, it's a huge promotion for the original comic too when you do that. Makes it even bigger than usual, or than it would normally be by itself. Ryan Archim says, Heath is super dead. Yeah, I think Heath is probably a goner for sure, Brian. Yeah, I think at this point we can say that Heath is dead, certainly. And it's just, I don't think we'll see him in the movies. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe they could use him somehow, but I just think he wasn't, I don't know if he's that important enough of a character. He wasn't there that long. It's not like Glenn or something. If Glenn was still alive and was off screen all these years, you definitely can, be certain you'll see him again. Heath was with Tara at the end in that episode. Was it Swear? Was that the name of it? Something like that. So yeah, I don't think he's still alive. I think we can write him off as a goner for good, and I don't think we'll see him again. And last will be from Suz M, who says, but if the CRM knew about the garbage people, they should know about Alexandria. Couldn't have missed all the other groups. Close. So yeah, they were close to the garbage people, and Jadis was feeding people up. But Jadis didn't say a whole lot. She didn't communicate very much. She was weird to communicate with. Maybe she did that on purpose, so maybe she didn't want to tell them and give them that information. She seems like that kind of character when you watch her in World Beyond. She's just so crafty and everything, right, that you can never trust her. And even they wouldn't be able to trust her. Nobody would. So more likely that she didn't tell them about them, and they just never knew. But even if they did know, it doesn't necessarily mean that they would go in and clean the place out. It's just a small group of less than 100, right? So it's not really a threat to them anyway. So if there's an advantage to them taking over Alexandria, they would have done it if they had been aware. But we never saw that, so we are to assume that either they didn't know about Alexandria, or maybe they did and they just didn't care because it was too small time for them. It wasn't big enough for them to really see it as a threat or anything, or really have much resources they could use. So that'll be it for this video, guys. Have yourselves a great New Year's, guys. We got about a month and a half, I think, or so until we start seeing the second part for The Walking Dead Season 11. So it should be lots of fun. And then after that, there'll be Fear, and then a new Walking Dead series in the summer. And then, the final third part to the Walking Dead television series. And in and amongst, we'll do, lots of videos for other stuff as well, too. But anyway, that's it for this Dead Updates type of video for now. And I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev. And I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.